Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear learners. I hope that you are fine and ready to learn the basics of English grammar. Before we begin, I would like to ask you to subscribe my channel and click the bell icon so that you may never miss any of my videos and receive the regular updates about them. Okay, let's start off. This is our today's topic. We shall be doing active and passive voice of past continuous tense. In order to convert the given active voice sentence of past continuous tense into its passive voice form, we need to follow certain rules. They are just four in number and they are very simple. The first rule is that the object takes the position of the subject. The second rule states that you use was being or were being before the verb. Number three rule says that you use third form of the verb along with by. You already know this point that in all kinds of tenses, whenever you are going to convert them from their active voice into their passive voice form, you use third form of the verb. And lastly, you convert the pronouns. For example, he was burning the wood. In this sentence, was and burning suggests that this is the past continuous tense. Moreover, it's in its affirmative form. Now, you know that here he is the subject, was is the auxiliary verb that you always use in past continuous tense. Burning here is the form of the verb. The wood here is the object. Now, we shall apply all these four rules in order to convert this given sentence into its passive voice form. We shall take out the object, which is the wood, in the start of the sentence. Then we shall add being after was. Then we shall change the form of the verb and we will put the third form of the verb in our sentence. And after that, we will add by. And at the end, you will have the pronoun and you will change its form. Here is the passive voice form of that sentence, and it is the wood was being burnt by him. I have applied this formula or these rules and converted this given affirmative sentence of past continuous tense, which was in its active voice form, into its passive voice form. Here you can see the would has taken the position of the subject, then was has been added as auxiliary verb, and with that you added being. You always use being in your continuous tenses. Then you added the third form of the verb along with by and you changed the pronoun. See the second sentence, which is he was not burning the wood. You can see that was not burning here suggests that this is the negative sentence of past continuous tense. Here is its passive voice form, which is the wood was not being burnt by him. You can see that in order to convert that sentence into its passive voice form, not has been added in between was and being. Never forget this point. Here is our third sentence. Was he burning the wood? You can see that was has been taken out in the start of the sentence, which helps you understand that this is the interrogative sentence of past continuous tense. We shall apply again all these 4 points and convert it into its passive voice form. Here is your passive voice sentence, which is was the wood being burnt by him. You can see was has been written in the start in order to make the sentence an interrogative statement. Then you added the would, which was basically the object in your active voice sentence, and it has taken the position of the subject here. Then you added being along with the third form of the verb and by, and lastly you converted the pronoun from he to him. Let's do some exercise and have more grip on the topic. Your first active voice sentence is we were saving the money. Now, you know that we here is the subject and were is the auxiliary verb. Saving is the form of the verb. The money is the object. Now, we shall write the object, which is the money, in the start of our passive voice sentence. Secondly, we will add being after the auxiliary verb. Thirdly, we will change the form of the verb. And lastly, we shall change the pronoun as well. And your sentence would be the money was being saved by us. You can see that I have written was as the auxiliary verb in my passive voice sentence. But in my active voice sentence, I had were as the auxiliary verb. The reason is that in active voice sentence, our subject was plural, and with plural subjects, you use were. But in case your subject is singular, you should use was as the auxiliary verb with that. That is why I have changed the auxiliary verb in this sentence. If you had written the money were being saved, that would have been wrong. Never forget this rule that you can change the auxiliary verb according to the subject of the sentence. Our second sentence is the maid was not washing my clothes. Now, my clothes here will come in the start of the sentence, and this is your passive voice sentence. My clothes were not being washed by the maid. You can see that again, according to the subject of the sentence in passive voice, which is the plural subject, I have used were as the auxiliary verb. But in our active voice sentence, the subject, the maid, is the singular subject. That is why it has was as the auxiliary verb. The third sentence is, were you playing cards? Now, cards here is the object, and were shows that this is the interrogative sentence. We shall convert it like this: were cards being played by you? I hope you understand now. The fourth sentence is he was sleeping soundly. You can see that he is the subject, was is the auxiliary verb, sleeping here is the form of the verb, and soundly here is not the object, it is the extension. Now, this sentence cannot be converted into passive voice because it doesn't have any object. Our fifth sentence is we were not enjoying a delicious meal. Now, a delicious meal will come in the start of your passive voice sentence, and your sentence would become a delicious meal was not being enjoyed by us. You can see that I have used was as the auxiliary verb in the sentence because our subject was a delicious meal, which is a singular subject. But in our active voice sentence, our subject was plural, which is we. That is why were had been added. as the auxiliary verb. Number 6 sentence is, was the girl packing her luggage? And you will convert it into passive voice like this: was her luggage being packed by the girl? This is our last and seventh sentence. He was cleaning his car. And this is its passive voice form. His car was being cleaned by him. I hope now you understand that you should change the auxiliary verb according to the subject of the sentence, and you should use being after the auxiliary verb. Then you should use the third form of the verb along with by, and you should change the pronoun form. Now I want you to practice the following. You are given some sentences of past continuous tense into either affirmative, negative, or interrogative form, and you are supposed to convert them into their passive voice form. And after you have done your work, you should match your answers from this solution which is given to you for your convenience. Good luck. Thank you. See you very soon. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.